Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a second. Okay. So just to the audience of YouTube who just joined us or who is watching us, just to give them a brief, we just started with Swami interview for let's say L4 QA engineer or a beginner level, or you can say an intermediate level QA engineer role where the experience required is between 0 to 3 years. Sometime company do consider the fresher. Sometime they consider mid experienced people for these roles, and the expectation is manual and automation testing. And I am Raghavin Singh. I am the mentor for Geeks for Geeks, and I take the full stack SGET batches here. I am also a senior QA engineer in Amazon, and I have total 7 years of experience in this domain. Uh, I was just asking Swami about himself. He gave certain, answer which I have recorded, and by the end of this session, I am going to give him a consolidated feedback, what all he can improve, what all he can do better in the interviews, how he can, answer things, what should be the approach. Everything we are going to discuss. So 1 hour is going to be the interview, and another 1 hour we are going to talk about the gaps, the things that people should focus upon while they are in the interview. So that is the agenda of today's mock interview. And Swami, I just asked some questions around constructor. What is the real-time usage of a constructor? Swami responded with some answers. Stay tuned. By the end of the session, we are going to talk about like what he answered and what he should have answered, and or whether it was right or wrong. We all are. We are. I am going to disclose all those by the end of the session. Now, moving ahead, Swami, can you open a Word file on your or any notepad plus plus anything on your system? Let me give you a very small coding question.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, just a second, let me give you a question. Okay, I'm pasting one JSON. Okay, on the chat itself. Can you copy paste this on your white screen?
I didn't get.
Let me share. Give me a sec. Let me share in a file. It's a big fat. Mm, Okay. I'm sharing a file. Copy that content inside that on your notepad. I have shared it. Can you open it? Okay. Now, this is the here is the problem statement. Now, can you just zoom out so that it's readable? Now, I have given you a search result response. So there is an API, a search API, where if I search any product, it is going to respond me with certain result, right? Now you have to write a code. Let's say if I enter or if I pass a parameter, let's say as 250, it should return me that particular product. And also it should return me two more products, which is near or which is cheaper than the base price. Let's say if I entered, for example, uh, scroll down, just scroll down. Let's say I enter 250, the base price. So you have to keep the base price as the parameter. So if I'm entering 250, it should return me, scroll up. It should return me this, The Alchemist, this book, and also it should return, scroll down, scroll more down. It should also return me, in this case, since we have only two options, it should return me Atomic Habits as well. But let's say if I add a similar one more JSON or five more JSON whose price were 450, 550, and 650, it will only return me 320 and 450. Rest all it will not return. So basically, you have to return the search result, whatever I have searched. I'm searching with the price now. So it is going to return me the item name, and it is also going to return me the two closest, or you can say two more, which are two more products which are expensive than the price that I have searched. So you got the problem statement here.
If if I search 250, I should get this
You
one.
should get the Alchemist. Correct. Let me make it more easy for you.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. I'm trying to give you a more easy one so that you can understand. Uh, okay. Now I'm sharing you a very simple JSON. I don't want to make it too complicated for you. Let me make it more easy. I have shared a file again. Can you please open that and copy the content?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you zoom out so that it's fit? Yeah. Now we have book item ID P001. Item name is book A, price is 100. Then book B, price is 150. Now we have 250, and then we have 300 and 400. Now let's say if I enter 150, it should return me book A and book B. You have to write a Java program for this, that if I pass 150 in my parameter, that method should return me book A and book B. Now scroll down. If I pass, let's say 400, right? 400. Scroll down. If I pass 400, it should return me book E, book D, and the book C. You understood the problem statement now? If I enter 250, it should return me book C first, and then book B, and then book A. So you have to write a code to solve this problem statement.
So this is separate file, right? How can I
Sorry,
program should I store all these in separate
I didn't get you.
no,
Store
this
as
is
in?
the data is in now it is in different file.
No, you don't have to. You can, I don't know. It's your call how you want to store. I have given you a problem statement. Now,
Okay,
how you
okay,
want to store the JSON, where you want to store the JSON, that is your call.
okay.
How you are going to store, how you are going to iterate, how you are going to uh, find a product. That's what the problem statement is.
Okay.
So while you're thinking, you have to also tell me while you start with the code part, you have to let me know what logic you are thinking over here. What is your thought process? So you can take 5 minutes, think about a problem statement, think about the logic, how you can solve it. First, think about the raw logic. What will be the raw logic to solve this in the layman language? And then try to convert it into the code part. It would be easy. Just a hint. Are you able to think on the logic part? What is going on in your mind?
Now I'm thinking, do I need to store this in some path and then like from there should I read or
Do you solve lead code or do you do some code practice every day?
yeah, practicing.
Then if you're practicing, then you should not take this much time to think how to store. I think that should be quick. I can hint you. We can use dictionary. What do you think?
Dictionary Ashmap.
Sorry,
Ashmap I can use.
I didn't get you. What you're saying?
Ashmap.
Hash map. What is the property of a hash map?
Based on key, the particular values will key value pairs.
Okay. What is the thought that's going on in your head?
I'm thinking I can store this in separate dictionary and not in a
Okay,
different.
let's write a code for it. Can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Okay. Go to line number 30. Right. Hit enter. Yeah. Now create a class first. Now create a method where you're going to write your logic. You're writing, I think, the logic outside the main method, but will you not create a method? And inside that, maybe you should.
I am creating, this is my main method. So I'm creating separate methods for the what are the going to be logic.
Okay,
I will
so
write.
and the return type would be array list. What is this actually? Can you explain? You're creating a method with. Why are you keeping it as a static? May I know the reason?
Static means directly we can access this method without creating an object.
Okay. What will be the parameter over there in that method?
So,
You understood the problem statement. Can you first explain me what you understood? Can you explain me what is the problem statement? I saw a
my
comment like some.
my problem statement. Your problem statement is to I need to search based on the search based on the range of the
What
price.
you
I
need to
should
search
get the I should
based
get
on the
the
search, based on the price you need to search, right?
yeah based on the price I should get the book.
And book what? How many books? One, two, three.
Like if I search like price of 100, I should get book A and book B. If I get price of search price of 400, of book E and book D I should get.
And also book C.
Book C.
Yeah. What if I search 150? What will be the output?
Output will be uh, book book B.
And
For 150 range, you told me to get book B and
So
book
book B and
A.
less than 150, I also need to return two more closest one. So what is the closest like which is lesser than 150? 100, right? So book A also will
100.
be returned.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I search 250, in that case, book B and book A both will be returned. So three items has to be returned. Do you think the return type of price would be int? Like, are we going to typecast?
Return type will be no, no. Return type will be list of
Parameter.
items.
The parameter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Parameter would be int.
This will be just yeah. Price is in integer.
Where it is written. When I said price is an integer. Okay, fine. You continue to code. It's fine.
ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ಇಂಟರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ 4:50 ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ಇಂಟರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನೀಗ ಅದು ಹಾಕೋದು 0ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ 6 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಐತೆ. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೀಟ್ ಐತದೆ. 10 ಸಾರಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪುದುಚೇರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ 4:45 ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಪುದುಚೇರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಜನಶತಾಬ್ದಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಐತೆ ಜನಶತಾಬ್ದಿ. 6 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲದ 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಐತಲ್ಲ ಅದು 4 ಶನಿವಾರ ದಿನ ಓಡಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆಪಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದೇ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಫುಲ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪಲ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. 6 ಗಂಟೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತೈತ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇದು ಹೊಸಪೇಟೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ? ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂದೆಂದಾಗಿ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಜನಶತಾಬ್ದಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಜನಶತಾಬ್ದಿ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ 9 ಐತಿ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ RAC ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು.
So you have not yet stored the
9
product.
ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 9 ಜನ
You are not trying to add, right?
ಒಂದೊಂದು ವಾರ ಎರಡೆರಡು ವಾರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ 2 ದಿನ ಮುಂದೆ ಖರ್ಚು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಊರಿಗೆ ಬರೋಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ 2 ವಾರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಯಾಕೆ 9 ಜನ ಹಾ, ಗಂಟೆ ಈಗ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಐತಿ ಅದು ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಐತಿ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದನ್ನ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗಿ
Sorry,
ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್
not getting logic here.
ಇಂಥ ಬರೋದು ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಶನಿವಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ
Okay, we can do, we have time. We can do one thing. We can first talk about the feedback of what you did right now, and then maybe we can proceed ahead with the manual testing round as well.
100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ತಾನೆ
Uh,
ರೂಪಾಯಿ
okay, now let me give you some quick feedback. Now, introduction, it was okay, but you could have done better over the introduction. So, introduction is
One
a
second.
part where
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you are not
ಕಸಾಪುರದಿಂದನೇ ಇದು
visible.
There is a lot of background noise from your side. Yeah, tell me. You're saying something?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll make note of whatever you say.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
It's
can
being
make.
recorded. You can refer the recording later.
Okay, okay. You continue.
Okay. So, very first thing, introduction has to be very crisp and it should be impressive. You should talk about yourself for like 5 seconds, like your background, educational background, and what your current company, your past experience in like 15-20 seconds. And you should not go in too much in depth, like I create automation framework and then there I use just NG or Selenium. No, it it should be more of a like, I work on automation, I work on the functional. If you're working on the planning part as well, you should highlight that, right?
Okay,
And
okay,
whatever you are saying, you should be very cautious. Let's say if you're saying that, I'm dealing with our automation framework, interviewer is going to get deep into that. So it's going to get, onto that part. So make sure whatever you are saying, like if you're confident with what you are saying, for this role, at least we expect from even a fresher nowadays, they're very smart. They create end-to-end frameworks. They have an end-to-end knowledge of how a pipeline works, how things work. And with those knowledge, again, they're not creating pipeline, but they have a good context on the real time industry training, and that's where they get their self sold in the interview. So you have to make sure it is not about the giving a vague introduction, but introduction plays a critical role. You have to make sure that you are very crisp with what you are saying. You have to make
okay,
you while saying, you can say that I love problem solving, and that's the reason why I was interested for a Fangman company, because or Microsoft, because I know there you solve a problem statement for a larger customer. All those things, all those areas. So something to make your introduction a bit impressive, right? You should work on that part. Now the second part was when I asked about constructor, right? It was a
yeah,
very bookish definition, and that's the point where some part of my heart decided that, okay, I was able to evaluate you that you are not technically too sound. You
okay,
have some definition, some knowledge of Java. Again, my feedbacks would be a bit harsh, but it is for your good, right? You Once you know the gap, you can fix it. If you don't know the gap, you are never gonna fix it, right? So that's the reason. I'm going to be a bit brutal honest with you in this case, and that's my job. But yeah, so coming on to the Java, concept of Java is another thing, and definitions of a concept is another thing. With a definition, you give the answer. But were you able to convince me? No. 5 out of 1. Why? Because you only know the definition. You are not able to explain what is the real time purpose it is solving. What when I ask what is initiating an object means, you are not you kind of took me to some other area of a constructor, but still my question was not solved, right? You were not able to answer my question. So
Okay.
basics should be really good, and when I say basics should be really good, it's not the definition. If I'm using oops concept, where exactly I'm using oops concept? If I'm using constructor, where exactly I'm using a constructor? Right? So be it any technology that you are working on, right? Be it any technology that you're working on, you have to make sure that you are actually learning one particular technology end to end. And when I say end to end, it should be more of a like you started with Selenium. If you're using Java, you don't need to know everything in Java, but the basics, oops concept, constructor, methods, right? Access specifier, some of the, like, these are some very common day-to-day topics that we use, right? Strings. These concepts should be really good. It should be on your tips. Okay, this is where we use in the real time. So that is going to give you a confidence, and that's where when you are learning Selenium, your Java foundation is good. Now you have learned Selenium. Now, when you talk about pipeline, where exactly, what you are automating, now where exactly that automation is being consumed. What is the outcome of that? You are in the industry, right? So you have
Okay.
to be, again, we will talk once this mock interview is done. We will be talking very raw. Maybe I will give you a call and we will just talk around key what exactly you are working and how you can unblock yourself. We are going to talk about that separately, but keeping it specific to mock, what you give, I think basics were not good. They were not strong. You could have done better over on those areas, right?
Okay.
So that was one thing. So kind of 40% of evaluation I did when I asked you about constructor, and when I asked you about your intro, and when I gave you a problem statement. So how you were able to process it, and how you were able to start with it, that was something. Now again, even I can see that you are not too much into coding, and your practice is pretty weak these days, but this can be improvised, right? So when I gave you a problem statement, first, anybody in this world who even here who have solved 100 questions, or who is solving daily basis, if he come and encounters a new problem statement, he will think, he will evaluate the problem. Okay, this is the problem, and then he will have certain question. What will happen if this is that, right? For example, when I said ki, if you enter 200, it should return you the price. It should return you the item name of that particular price, and two more products which are cheaper than that, right? So you could have thought ki, what if there is no price? What will be the logic in that front? And then, or you could have thought on the logic. I told you, think about the logic, forget about the code. Think about the logic. Okay, I am going to store it, let's say, in an array list, for example, and then I am going to search for a particular price, and then that particular item will be returned, and then the price which is less than the base price which I'm searching, it will be doing some comparison, and it is going to return those items. This is what you could have, even like in the Rayman language, you have not done the coding, you were not able to do the coding, though there was already a result, because we need to write the executable code. And you are not going to get a IDE in the real time situation. You are going to get the same white screen. There will be a white screen. There will be a white screen, but you are going to, write the question like this only. You're going to write the code like this only. And this will only happen when you are a regular coder. When you code every day, this is where this issue will be resolved. Right? Now, how to prepare for the coding part? That is one thing, right? Now, there is one rule. Now we are in the world of AI. And now, how to practice the code? Now, let's say today you learned about a string. You learned about a string class. You saw, okay, what all these are the methods which are used in the string class. Now you go ahead, pick at least one question from a string, and in another 1 week, you make sure that, okay, I'm only going to solve 7 different questions or 10 different problem statement or 15 different problem statements of a string. Pick one problem statement and read that problem statement. It is 99% people on the very first day, they are not able to solve the problem statement. Now, what they do, they are going back, putting it into the chat GPT, getting the solution and reading that. Understand the solution, right? You're not able to solve, but understand what is the solution, right? Debug the code, do a dry run of the code. Now, what is a dry run? What is a debug? I will talk about it later. Now, debug it, dry run it, see your code. Second day or on the same day, pick a new problem statement if you have the energy. If you cannot sit and you are tired, go back, chill, relax, come back another day, pick up another problem statement, repeat the same activity. When you are doing this activity for, let's say, 3, 4, 5, 10 days, there will be a time where your brain will actually start thinking on the logic part, because every day you are picking up a new problem and you are debugging and you are analyzing and you are understanding what problem, that how and what is exactly happening in the code. So once you understand the logic, it's not enough. You debug the code, you dry run the code, and then you try to do, okay, let's say if I try to break the code, you are a tester, right? You are a QA engineer. Now I will try to break the code. I will try to give some values which are going to break my code. Try to fix those small things. So you are doing some small coding every day, but you are in a regular practice of debugging and all those activities. Now, if you do this for another 30 days with, like, let's say covering a string, arrays, hash map, dictionary, whatever it is, the data structures, one concept, even if you are solving 30 to 40 questions, you will be very easily able to clear the inter. And this question is very easy. If you go back and do the same, I told you the trick, right? Now you go back, do the same activity, and you will realize, ki, okay, it was damn easy. I could have, answered this. But why you could not answer? Because you are not in a daily practice now. Getting my point? So what you have to
Right.
do is to practice every day for 30 days. How many hours we need to dedicate? Do we need to dedicate 10 hours a day? No, not needed. At least in QA domain or become an SDET, no, not needed. If you're doing it, that's great. People, students who are doing that, that's fantastic. People who are not able to do, that's fine, right? Not all, everyone has that kind of 200, 300 problem solving on the lead code, and that's not even needed. But at least try to solve 40 to 50 to clear Microsoft, Amazon, the good product based companies that are there in the market, Hilti or whatever it is. These companies are going to ask you questions on these levels only. So even if you're solving 40 to 50 questions, your confidence level is going to boost. Now, problem solving is just one part. One part was problem solving. I did the problem solving. Things are sorted. Now, what is the second part of the story? Improvise your code. After 10 days, now you know, okay, somewhere I'm able to think on the logic. I'm able to code. Now I know, okay, what needs to be done, right? And from where you need to start. If you are not at all in touch with the coding, start with for loop. Start with
Okay.
loops, start with conditional statement, go on to the string, and then go to the data structures. Go in that path, you will be able to make it. Now, once you know that, okay, I'm able to write the code, think ki how I can optimize my code. Again, use the same pattern. If you're not able to think, use ChatGPT, understand the logic, and it will be quick this time. Earlier, it took 7 days or 10 days for you to get into this practice, but now it is going to take another 5 days for you to get into this practice. Coding part for every student, I think this is going to work. This particular formula has actually worked on more than 700 students in last 1 year, which I have trained. They were able, the coding, fear of coding, fear of, especially in the QA domain, this is a very common problem. People get scared in the coding. I tried to make you nervous. I think there was one question where I tried to make you nervous by saying that, you gave yourself 6 out of 10, right? And the answer that you gave me was that, I'm not good with the problem solving. I'm not able to solve problem. Right away, you are rejected in the interview. You yourself is calling out that I'm not a good problem solver. understand why interviewer will hire you. Getting my point? If you're not a good problem solver, we are not looking for a regular QA engineers. We are looking for someone who solves a problem. And when I'm talking, I don't know, there will be audience in the right now in the forum who would be thinking, "Are QA, what complex problem does a QA get?" Today, I'm going to give you a glimpse of what kind of complex problem a QA can get, and that we deal with like on a regular basis, on a day-to-day life. We are dealing with those complex problem, and we are actually solving it. So being a QAE in Amazon or an SDET in Amazon or a Microsoft, I feel that the thought process get changed. Somebody working in a service organization, somebody working in a product organization, both are QA, both are finding bug. What is the difference between them? The price that the product company QA is getting paid for is on for his thought process. So if you're calling out your weakness in the interview saying that, I'm not good with the problem solving, your interview is over then and there. So interviewer will try to play around with your confidence, with your mindset, with your thought process, just to see how you respond. Because once you enter, it is not just about coding or testing. It is about a survival where you have to train yourself in that way. Your thought process
Okay.
should work in that way. And then when a situation of pressure comes in, right? I created a pressure on you. Ki you should have prepared and come to the interview instead of saying 6 on 10, right? You could have answered something else, but you were honest. But that honesty is going to cost you your opportunity. Getting my point? So, and this opportunity, to be very honest, how difficult it is for everybody who is out there watching me. uh, it is very difficult to get an opportunity. I always, be it my friends, be it my, even my cousins, or be it anybody, any student, everyone is equal for me. And when people say that, help me with a referral, the very first question that I ask, are you ready? Are you prepared? If not, even if I refer you, getting you referred into the organization is enough for you to be happy? No, right? The real happiness is when you're able to crack it. So if you are appearing for an interview and you are getting rejected and you are not prepared, you have not done the practice. And again, if you think, I am too pro with the cheating part and I can just cheat like this in the interview, trust me, the people who are interviewing, their job is to take interview every day and they knew what you are doing. So there are very sleek chances that you are going to make it unless and until you have a good technical skills. You are too good in coding, but the problem statement which came, you were not able to solve. Somehow you solved it via AI and you were able to explain each and everything. But this is very rare. People with those kind of mindset, they actually deserve to be hired, right? But not everyone is on the same page. So what we need to do, we need to prepare, we need to plan, right? So Tippaswamy, what was the gap? Gap was in your introduction, gap was in your confidence, gap was that I personally feel that you could have built a logic. And again, I was prompting you that, build a logic, build a logic, forget about the code, build a logic. You could have utilized that opportunity to convince me. You could have given your best shot over there, right? Even if you're getting rejected, you could have given your best shot over here. I thought I broke your confidence and somewhere it impacted your coding round. And that is what happens in the real world. Once you enter, there is a lot of pressure from your stakeholders for the release. The quality is not good. Your automation is suffering. You have to fix it. There is a lot of things going on. The project complexity is very high, but they don't care. You have to solve it on your own. Go ahead, find a problem. If you're finding a problem statement, come up with a solution. What solution you are proposing? If you need help, of course, we ask for help, but there is a lot of pressure. Now, again, is it difficult to survive in that pressure? No, it is not difficult. It's very easy. But the kind of ecosystem, the kind of discipline that you have to go for another 2 months. The best part with our QA domain, we need only 2 months to prepare ourselves very well. Manual testing, automation, your behavior question, 2 months is more than enough. One technology you have to learn by heart. How you need to learn now? Nowadays, people, just give me 1 minute. Nowadays, people think that I will learn a Selenium from a YouTube. What they're teaching a basics of Selenium. Okay, this is how you create a basics of framework. You heard about page object model, very basic concept. Some of the things that you feel ki, okay, now I know everything. But the moment question tweaks, people are getting stuck. So recorded session is good, and the recorded session is good for the people who are actually experienced with both automation and manual. They have worked on some real time hands on, they have a good hands on something, and they wanted to onboard on themselves to a new technology. No doubt recorded session helps a lot to those folks. But for the people, and now even there is an AI, so I don't think even that is required, but it's okay. It depends upon person to person. I won't comment on that. But somebody who has just started the career and they don't know how industry works, what is expected from a Google QA, Amazon QA, or a Microsoft QA, or how it works, they should definitely go for a full one-to-one mentorship where they should learn one full end-to-end technology. People who are now, this is a game. It's a game of plan, right? When we were in class 12th, physics, chemistry, bio, maths, whatever our subjects were, we used to have a mentor or a tutor. We used to learn. We used to do a self study. Then, when the exam used to come, we used to create a plan. Okay, if this is a section from where 40 marks question is going to come. We used to do a strategic planning. We used to prepare, and we used to crack the exam. That was the strategy, right? Swami, we all have done that since
Yeah,
for like 14 long years we have done that, right? The same strategy applies over here. We are grown up matures or working for a professional industry, and what's our job, what we need to do. We need to make sure that we are creating a plan for our career. QAs in this domain, unfortunately, this is a sad part of our domain, that 90% of the QA they settle for manual testing. 90% of them. Right now, we are evolved from automation to AI. Now, automation is must, plus AI is a boom. People have not came out from the era of manual testing. If I tell you today ki create a framework, you might get a little nervous. But when you actually learn the process, after a month you will realize that you in this course of journey you already created a framework and it was pretty easy. Was it a rocket science? The core concept are going to be the same. The stronger your core are, the higher the probability of you to clear the automation round. Giving you a heads up, Java was just a glimpse. In automation round, what you are expecting? They are not going to give you and ask you, okay, create a framework. They are going to ask you basics, but not the definition. They are going to ask you the concept. Getting my point? Any query, any concern so far with the feedback, or anything you feel is missing and I should call out? Please feel free to ask.
hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. My question is about uh, how how exactly in real time we are integrated with uh, this. We have done with separate running the regression builds, but how we can directly pipeline into the streams of this one to the production, like automatically deploy once the build is stable.
Come back again.
Right now, what we are doing is in our projects is like separate build will be there. We will be running the scripts and then from there manually they are deploying.
You are asking about deployment process?
Yeah,
No, I'm asking ask question related to this feedback part, like the interview that just happened. Any concerns,
Like
questions around this?
a
That I will
concern
address
question.
later with you.
Yeah, like what I come up with is that I have to build more logics and encoding part. Apart from that, I have to improve my confidence level while explaining concept with the real time where we are applicable things.
You have to learn technology in the real time scenario, end to end,
Yeah,
how it works,
yeah,
right? I will give you a call. We will talk in depth about it. Don't worry. I am going to talk with respect to your technical questions that you have. I will address all of those. Now, going forward, moving forward, we have another 1 hour with us. You're confident with manual testing, right?
yeah,
Okay, cool. Let's do something which is your forte, right? Let's make you happy also. I don't want you to go thinking, oh my God, this is tough, bro. This is easy. This is easy. It's it's like 45 days effort. That's it.
yeah.
45 days, exactly 45 days. If you don't know anything in automation, maximum 2 months, 60 days. I think, and again, I'm not saying in air. I have students who have cracked, uh, good companies like the big four and the good product companies, and from 3.5, 4.5, or 5 to 6 lakh package, they have jumped on to 19, 20, 18, 17, like that. Based on their knowledge that they had, they were able to, do so well in the interview. Now, coming back, open a new tab.
Yeah.
uh, Open a new tab in Notepad. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Now you are a okay. So which application have you used? Google Pay?
Yeah.
No. You have used
GPay
any
phone pay.
payment? Sorry. Which application
Payment.
have you used? Phone Pay?
Yeah.
Have you ever paid your electricity bill online?
Yeah. I paid 1 or 2 times. I was.
Okay. Okay. Now you are a QA engineer and you are working for Google. Google Pay is launching electricity category for the first time in the history. of the universe. No one has launched, not yet launched electricity category where like people can pay their electricity bill online. Everyone was paying offline till now. Google Pay is the first mover. Okay, you are the QA who is working. Now, what will be your test strategy? Now, again, let me tell you, the electricity category is going to contain multiple billers. Like there are multiple states in India. Each states
Yes.
have different city. Each city have different electricity board, right? Now, understand how many electricity, like let's say 3,000 electricity boards are there, right?
Yes.
Now, first question is, what is the test data to test electricity category? What do you understand? What you think? What will be the test data here? You can write it down on your screen. What will be the test data? Second, how you are going to get that test data, and what will be your sign off strategy?
Okay. Test data will be to calculate the electricity bill per month, uh, megawatt of hour, like something, so if this much of electricity has been used by consumer. So what is the price per some megawatt of hours? Megawatt hours, megawatt. Unit of electricity consumed, price. The input will be to get the calculation of amount. So how much electricity the consumer is going to be used per month? Hello?
Hello, yeah, we are not calculating the power and the cost that electricity board is already doing. They are generating the bill. We are just paying the bill.
Yeah.
We need is a consumer number. We will enter the consumer number. We will select the biller. Let's say Telangana TGSL, whatever it is, and the consumer
Okay.
number and fetch bill. Amount will be fetched. I just simply need to pay. Now, what will be the test data over here? I already gave you the answer.
The test data will be that one, the input consumer number,
Correct. Correct. What else?
and then the like from which state is going to, if there are multiple places, the cost will be
Sorry.
applicable based on the reasons, maybe change reason to reason it might change
No,
for
cost
their
cost is not a
state
test data.
regulations.
Cost is test data is your consumer number. Now, how you are going to get this consumer number for all the billers? Think. Take your time. Take 5 minutes. Evaluate. Open phone pay. Explore the electricity category. I'm giving you that privilege. Open and explore electricity. See how it works. You have phone on your with you. Just check on your mobile.
Hello, hello.
Yes. You saw.
Yeah. So based on my consumer number, what I will enter, uh, like there will be field input field.
How you will get the
Like,
consumer number?
hello,
I told you the answer. Consumer number is the.
test data.
Now how you are going to get that?
A consumer number will be there will be like a registration form. No, we already consumers has been registered, so we'll get the data directly from. If we are using software, we will be get stored in one somewhere page all the details of the consumers. From there, we are getting the particular consumer number and then searching based on our entry with consumer number. What is the power consumed by the electricity belong to this user? That particular meter will get the final amount need to pay from there.
How? My question is how.
How
From where you will
means
get that? For 2700 billers, how you are going to get that? That is the question. This is a real time problem statement, just to let you know.
yeah, I'm thinking that what we are exactly doing. Uh, I'm also working in the actually real time in this state transmission like KPTCL, MSLDC only, the domain, energy domain only. So we are getting meter numbers based on the meters we are fetching data and all doing this in daily. We are what exactly doing this thing only.
So how
There
you
will
are
be
going to get the test data for? How you are going to
this
get the test
data.
data?
The test data will be created, like the data will be present the particular from the tables in database, wherever from the JSON. If we are having any endpoints for that particular source, resource will be stored. Based on the ID, we will get the like if suppose the 28 states present in 28, maybe not exact sure, 30 states from India, so we'll enter the state-wise code. So particular for this state, this will be the consumer number code will be start
From where you will
like
get?
prefix suffix.
From where you will get?
That is what I'm saying. The API, particular API or
Which API? Which
endpoint of
endpoint?
the consumer number
No,
endpoint.
consumer number is with the end customer. It's the end customer data. It's your electricity consumer. It's your house electricity consumer number. It is not available in any public forum. That is confidential. You cannot get it via any API.
As I use,
This is a very easy problem. You can solve it very easily. Not very easy, but yeah, easy and tricky
yeah,
one.
as a user, I know my consumer number. I will enter and pay. But as in the part of and the view of in the paradigm of testing point of view, we have to create or we need to get some get the data from where it is stored. Like we need to get
Nowhere it
precondition to
is
get
stored.
the
Data is stored
precondition.
nowhere. Data is stored
Data will
nowhere.
be
That is
stored in database.
no, it is not there. Na. It is not yet launched. Electricity category is not yet launched. How you will have customer consumer number when it is not yet launched in the planet?
Yeah,
People are
that's what
paying the
that
bill manually.
to create consumer number there may be there will be the precondition that though if this condition will be done, like if the registration for that consumer is done, the particular registration, one consumer ID consumer number will get generated.
Registration
Hello.
electricity board do. You are not doing any registration. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Hello. I'm saying
Yeah,
registration electricity department does. That we are not doing.
yeah.
Registration electricity department is doing. We are not doing that. How you are going to
Okay.
how you are going to justify this? You cannot do this. This is you are not thinking in the right direction. Use your common sense. It's easy.
We'll get it from the electricity board, from the particular department itself. Hello.
Department is not going to share you the number.
I don't have provision to register also, create also. Then they are not going to provide. I can't get it from API. Then the other one, other would be what it would be. It will be uh,
Think.
but one can we can get by seeing the that meter.
Meta.
Hello,
Yeah. Meta. I didn't get. How you will see from
meter,
Meta?
meter, like that will be in physical form.
Sorry.
Uh, No, this is not right. Mm, 2 minutes, I'm thinking. Hello,
Yeah.
I'm thinking too. Yeah. Could you spell out one more time this problem statement?
How you are going to procure the test data? Simple. How I am going to get the consumer number?
That's what my thoughts were. One could be I can, if the first time the user will get assign the number by registering, the unique consumer number will be assigned for a registration. If there is a for as I am as my role is in testing part, if I having the access of the DB for this particular consumer number details, I can get it from there, or if there any API is available, I can get it there. These are the three thoughts I'm getting right now.
Okay. Now feedback time. Answer to this is that I could have used my friends and family test data for testing. Of course, testing all the 2900 biller is not a feasible solution. I will reach out to a developer first or the product team to understand whether the implementation in the backend for the development for any biller is handled in a unique way. Let's say for Uttar Pradesh, we need four fields. Some special handling is done, or for other any state there is some special handling done. If no, in that case, I can say that if I test for one or two biller or whatever test data I have, it means all the other billers are working fine. So my test strategy would be that I would be covering all the negative scenarios where valid consumer number is not needed for all the expensive biller or the major states. And then I'm going to test. I'm also going to check for which all states we are going to launch. Let's say we are
Oh,
only going to start with one.
what one point is here. I noted that you have been told that this is not yet been launched, but how can I get it from friends? And I, that's why
Sorry.
I couldn't think in that way.
No, it's a not yet launched, right? It is not yet launched. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Since the beginning, it's not yet launched. It's the first time we are launching.
But yeah, that's what that is that if this is the first time launch, I can't get from anybody, right? Like the developer might be
Why you
created
cannot get
one or two.
why consumer number? Consumer, you have a electricity in your house, even though if it is not launched, you have electricity on your house. You get a electricity bill every month. In your bill, you have a unique number, and that is the consumer number which you are going to use. The unique number is not going to get generated for you. Your bill, everyone in India has that consumer number when they are registering for electricity for their house.
Okay, 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 got you. Yeah. Mhm. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
So you got my point, right?
Yeah.
Consumer number is like you just have to use the common. There was no trick in here. And again, on the developer front, on the mock or the stub solution that might be used, let's say we got developer told that okay, this is the category where the special handling is done, or a biller where special handling is done, and we need to test it. Now in this scenario, what we will do, we have to make sure that we are testing. Now we don't have the test data. Now we will be testing it with a stub solution. Whatever screens I can validate, I can validate. And even if it is a requirement that we have to test and we don't have the test data, then I will reach out to my product manager. Okay, this is the thing what we need to do. Seeking a product help. Now he will help us either with the test data or we will go with a conditional sign off over here. Now, what will happen next is not a part of this interview, it's a part of something else where I will talk on the right forum. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that you have to think from a 360-degree. And trust me, manual testing is difficult than automation round. People are getting selected in automation and coding, and they're getting rejected in manual, and they are getting overall rejected. This is the situation. Whereas people are very overconfident with the manual testing. Array manual testing though we will do. But this is again, I will ask in your introduction, and let's say your product is a fintech. I'm going to give you a OTT platform. If you have worked on an OTT platform, I'm going to give you a fintech. If you have worked on a multiple things, I'm going to give you a device, application which gets connected to a IoT device. I'm always going to put you into a situation where you have never worked or some gaming application just to see how you are going to behave in that situation. What will be your thought process, right? Swami, how was your experience with the mock interview? I think we are done in 1.5 hours. We somehow covered some glimpse of manual testing, not exactly, not completely. There are still some part of manual testing which are left. Test case round, test planning. I have not even evaluated you on that. I just evaluated you on the basics of manual testing, not even a
Mm.
full-fledged manual testing round.
Yeah.
But if I have to
Yeah.
give you an overall, it's an overall no higher call. But
Uh,
what
this
is
is
your prep
the
duration? According to me, you need at least 45 to 50 days to prepare yourself.
okay.
1 hour manual testing, pick up a new product, explore the application, explore different types of application. Think, what if I was the first QA to test this? How I would have done the testing? What would be my test strategy? Use your
Yeah.
brain, get it reviewed by AI. Use AI effectively. AI is the best supporter, and for guidance, there are mentors in the industry.
Okay.
So, how was your experience overall?
Yeah, overall, it was great experience. Like I never come across I had been given past scenes from two, three interviews. One starting from the Infosys, Deloitte, and then Cognizant, Capgemini. All are maybe Capgemini is might be the in queue, though there is some other round will be there. But all those starting what I have been given three all got rejected, and then I joined the Geeks for Geeks. Uh, Actually, right now my course also is going on. But as my experience, real time interview experience, this was the overall different. In the automation part of the way of question you asked in the problem solving also is like exact real time, maybe in the some companies, uh, product companies. Based on that, this is the great experience I gained a good the right feedback from you. So I will try to improve myself in the upcoming 1 or 2 months. It will take time. Mm, I will every day I will try to figure it out what are the things and try to improve what are the weak areas and glimpse what you have given me the feedbacks in the part of coming part of introduction and all the in the in the part of Java also syntactical errors and the thinking of solving the problem and also be confident with real time where applicables, what are the conceptual applicable in real time exactly, and also in the coming part of the manual also. So manual, so what you told the manual is easy, okay, I can answer all the questions, but the problem statement, what when you gave the statement, I struck in a 2, 3, 4 around almost 5 minutes to think. I couldn't able to think that thing though. So that's what you told me to think in 360-degree round of the thinking overall the ways what we will get where exactly. So all these points I will make notes and I will try to improve myself. Though thank you for your time and also your feedback based on my input, uh, my response for your questions.
Great, Thipaswamy. It was really nice interviewing you. It was a great session that I had with you, and
Yeah,
I
I
hope
might not
to.
meet the
That's
and
okay. That's
completely.
okay. See,
So
even if you would have meet up, you would have not been here, right? We are
yeah,
here so that you know your gaps, and it is
yeah,
for everyone. It is for everyone out there, who thinks, who thinks that Fang Mang is difficult to crack. No, it is not difficult. It is
yeah,
about strategy. It is about planning. And to be honest, this is a dream of so many people to work in a big company. Uh, and I have seen in the industry mentors, they have created a lot of noise stating that it's a rocket science. No, it's not. Guys, it is not a rocket science. It is not at all difficult to crack. Anyone can crack it. At least QA, SDET, these domain, anyone can crack it. What is need? A 45-day dedication, 60-day dedication. If you are ready to devote your 60 days, you are going to make it. So don't think from a perspective that it is not going to happen, or I was not able to make up. You gave it a try, right? Out of so many out there sitting, you came up for this. And the good part with you, there are so many people watching you live right now on the YouTube. There are so many of the people who are going to watch this recording after a couple of hours or days. And it requires a lot of confidence. So hats off and salute to that. You're coming up and you're giving this mock interview. You are actually, talking about your weakness live in the forum, right? That's the biggest strength you have. You know the gap, and you already have taken the first step to win this battle. Getting my point? You know the path forward. You know ki
Yeah.
a mentor, a guidance, a 60-day plan can help me to get into a good job, right? There will be some talks that I will be doing with you offline. I don't want to discuss live in the forum. Those are some confidential talks that we are going to have. I'm not going to do it over here. But all I'm trying to say is that you did really well. You are actually better than 30% of the audience who I screen on a day-to-day basis. You are better than them. You just have to cope up the other 70 or 80%. That's it. 60-70% people, if you're overcoming in another 60 days, it's done, Tipaswamy. And I assure you now, I am saying it live in the class. After 60 days, if Tipaswamy is following a process, we will take an interview of Tipaswamy again on the same thing after 60 days. And we will compare these two recordings. What was Tipaswamy 60 days back, and what is Tipaswamy after 60 days? And that is going to be a difference that everyone is going to see.
Thank you.
So, Tipaswamy, it was really, really, really nice talking to you. Is there anything else I can answer, or we can just ramp up the call?
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you.